LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, y'all see the title. Let's get right into this one. This one's a bit different. Usually I chop up these clips, edit them, and configure it in a certain way to set up the reaction. Usually I watch and vet the entire clip before the interview before I actually react to it. This time I did something a little different. I did not get to comb over this entire interview between Glendon Cameron and Anton Daniels, hosted by the lead attorney. So I'm going to do a live reaction and a live breakdown with y'all. I seen this video in the corner, and this is pretty much the video. Okay, let's get into it. It explains itself. I don't even have to say much. Let's get into it.
I want us to talk to see kind of what happened and kind of where we are, and to clear up a lot of misunderstandings. I know I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, Glendon's having sex with 15-year-olds, right? And to be fair, that is not what you said, Glendon, in the videos, right?
I thank you for saying that, because I've been seeing that quite a bit. I've been seeing that extrapolation. And also, I want to say, I love your content, and I thank you for sending me this invite. Because
okay, first things first. I first stumbled across this video watching Anton Daniels' channel. He was doing a reaction to it. And then I also seen it on Abba and Preach's channel. For a little context, let's watch a little bit of this video so y'all know exactly what was said. So when you hear the debate, you know what they're referring to.
What's going on, gentlemen? Tonight is a moment for self-reflection. Matter of fact, let's shed a little light on this subject. I could have been a predator, and I am a little sympathetic to R.Kelly. I know that sounds really, really crazy, but hear me out. I guess I need to start with what I've done. When I was doing my Craigslist protocols, hot and heavy, I would get a ton of high school girls answering my ads. And typically, I ignored them. Because even though I have a similar appetite to R. Kelly, I like young women, but I don't like children. But this is how a child tricked me. Typically, they would be young. There would be lots of signs that this girl was very, very young. And I would just ignore them. Then this one girl, she answered the ad. We started to talk, and she was an exceptionally mature 17-year-old. Let me say this again. This chick was 17. Her conversation was different.
What?
She actually was a hairdresser.
I would like to know how old he was during these times when he's talking about scouting these women, or could you call them women, girls?
And she answered my ad, and I fucked her. And oh my God, she had these amazingly firm double D titties. That should have been my clue, because when she would lay on her back, they would stand up, and they were not fake titties. That should have been my clue. But, I was caught up in the delicious pussy, and she did everything I wanted her to do. Then one of the things that I would do is I would do social media search on all my chicks, just out of curiosity. So I'm like doing my social.
Now, when I hear this story and I hear him speaking about this stuff on YouTube, I'm just asking all sorts of questions in my mind before we get these answers to the questions. Like, okay, yes, you're admitting to having sexual relations with a 17-year-old. Which state were you in? Well, you're obviously in America, so I don't have to ask you which country. Which state are you in? Because the ages vary for the sexual consent age, so you may be admitting to something foul, or you may not be, just something that's just looked upon differently. So it might be legally wrong or morally wrong, but we don't know which state he's speaking about, but we'll get into it.
Media search, and I find her Facebook page, and I see her with her high school friends. And I'm like, oh shit. So I call her up and I ask her, because, she told me she was 21. That's what she told me. And I was like, serious question. And at this time, I had fucked this chick 10, 15 times. And you cannot unfuck a chick. You can't unfuck her. And I was like, I need you to tell me something. How old are you? And then she got very silent and she said, I'll be 18 in 4 months. Then she also said the age of consent in Georgia is 16, so you're good. Go. And I'm like,
it was Georgia, so what he did wasn't legally wrong. But how old were you? So we get some context to this to see exactly what type of mind you have preying on these young women.
So she comes over and we have this conversation.
Young
because
women. Girls.
She was everything
women,
that I like.
Girls.
I like women who 5'3". She was 5'2". She had huge titties, little waist.
All right, so this is where the conversation gets a little mucky. Girls, my nigga, they're 16, 17, or not 16, 17, 18. They're girls. They're not women yet. They're girls.
Fat ass, pretty toes. She was my prototype, even though she was extremely young. And you know what I kept doing? I kept fucking her. Because I was like, at this point, I had fucked her 15 times. And it was just like, the crime was done. So I just kept fucking her from she was 17 to 22.
All right, that's a poor choice of words to say the crime is done. Okay, so we have a little bit of the backstory. We'll get into the rest, but let's get into the conversation, the debate that they're having in regards to the video that we just watched, or a part of the video that we just watched.
Because I've been seeing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I want to go ahead and clarify why there are so many people rocking with me, because people are mad at the folks who are supporting me. In this, I don't know when you joined YouTube, but years ago, I had 3 male channels called Disruptive Male, where I was talking about male content and these type of explicit stuff. And a lot of people loved them. And then, I got a little carried away and I was like, you know what? I'm not actually giving the guys the stuff that they need. So I deleted the channels. So there are people who are very familiar with me in the manosphere. And this is why Alan Roger Curry, this is why Edward Anderson, this is why people are rocking with me, because I put this content out for years and this never was part of it. This was a part of a strategy, which many people will disagree with me. I think is working very fine to launch the new male channel, The Lost Kings, because I want to separate myself from other male content creators. And,
right, so let me, not to interrupt you, but so you're saying that the video that you put out first when you were in your car, that was part of a strategy to launch your channel?
Yes, it's a month old.
Okay.
And
so this video was a part of a strategy to launch your channel. So are you saying that what you said in this wasn't real? Or, okay, let's get into it because I don't understand.
Part of this is like, one of the big things is with YouTube, shock and awe works. And actually, I am really surprised that the blowback wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest with you, and it really wasn't. And people have been saying all kinds of stuff like my age, and this stuff happened like 20 years ago. This is what's funny. People act like I was at some high school with lollipops and soda pops seducing young girls, and that wasn't the case at all.
So it happened 20 years ago. I don't know how old he is now, but your intention in telling the story was a strategy to do something else, but the story's not fake. So what does the strategy? Let's get into it, guys.
But these things did happen, but the ages, because like I don't know if you got that thing I
Hold
sent
on.
you.
See that I paused it at the wrong
earlier.
point. He said these
that
things
wasn't
did
the
happen.
case at all. But these things did happen, but the ages, because like I don't know if you got that thing I sent you earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it because I don't know if you were in your show. But I used to do something called Craigslist protocols, and I'll explain all that. I used to have a business called the Upscale Garage Sale, and I used to use Craigslist for advertising. And I noticed I would have NBA players, I had really hot chicks coming in from my Craigslist ads. And at the time, Craigslist had a section called a dating section. And I started writing content for these ads. And in the beginning, it was horrible because I wasn't getting any results. But I stuck with it and I stuck with it and I stuck with it. And I kind of tapped into something. And I would get
I'll be
responses
right back, Lee.
from,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, keep going. I'll be right
I
back.
would get responses from high school girls every day. And this is the thing, and this is what's funny. 99.9% of them I ignored because, you know, the average high school girl looks like a high school girl. A lot of them are not developed. A lot of them don't look like women. So I had no interest in them.
Let me just jump in right quick. What was the text of these ads? What did they say?
This is when, if you know, because you said I'm into some wild shit. And this is the BDSM, and I kind of toyed around with the content marketing, and what I found was long form ads worked really, really well. And it was just talking about what I would do, what was on the table, the activities. I'm not going to get explicit on your show, but I spelled out in detail what I would do and what I would not do. And a lot of women started responding, like 10, 15 a day, 7 days a week. And part of that
was okay. So was this these were ads for sexual activity? Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
And was compensation included, or why would women respond to a ad, just a random ad?
Great question. Great question. What I tapped into was the female submission story. There was no competition. There was no compensation. There was no dating. They would strictly just show up in my place and have sex. And this went on for about 10 years. I start tamping it down. Let's say 15 years, but 10 years hard. And then 15 years, I kind of backed away from a lot of that stuff. But that was the gist of it. I mean, it literally changed my life. And I thought the launching of the Lost Kings, because, I started making content about a month ago, and I was like, I have been the target of so many YouTube hate campaigns, and none of them been anything that I've done. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw some raw meat out there for the dogs, because I've seen, I've been reading the comments and stuff, and people want me buried under the jail, and people want me, and I think you did a real good job saying that ain't nothing going to happen to me, because number one, this isn't current activity, and number two, when it was happening, it was never illegal. I never had sex with a 15-year-old girl. I never even had sex with a 16-year-old girl. But part of the thing is, I know y'all may disagree with me, but I feel that the social media experiment worked really well. And because I'm getting more and more subscribers, I'm having all kind of content creators.
All right.
Stop the cap.
Social media experience or experiment. When I look at this, I haven't vetted this entire interview, so I'm watching it for the first time, listening to it. I look at this and it sounds like a lot of lies. It sounds like he did it for the clout, and now he's trying to reframe it in a way where it's palatable. But let's continue.
Making crazy videos. Some people can't even pronounce my name. It's wild. And I feel that this is probably going to die down, because I was thinking this is going to go on to the end of October, but I don't think it's going to go on that long. I don't really think it's going to go on that long.
What's the experiment part?
Yeah, Anton, why don't you give us kind of your initial view on this, your initial take?
I will answer the experiment part was the actual video. YouTubers are known for faking stuff and putting out stuff that isn't real. This has been YouTube since YouTube started. So I would.
I don't get that. What does he mean YouTubers fake stuff and put out stuff that's not real? You just admitted that the stories were real, that these were real stories that you put out.
Ahead, I put up a video that was talking about some very saucy stuff, and it started performing, and then I feel that your video helped propel it. The video isn't going to go viral. I already can tell that. It's at like 5,400 views. And part of it is to set the brand and to build a community the way that I want to build a community. I don't want weak, let me say it.
All right. He said the video is not going viral. The video may not have gone viral on your channel, but when many other YouTubers pick it up and they're reacting to it, that's already crossed the 1 million view threshold. Once Abba and Preach got it, that was out of there. So, Cap.
I want people who will be committed to personal change. And if I could put up a video like that and I can get subscribers, I'm getting the right kind of subscribers. I'm getting the right kind of people that I want. And about a day after.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all want to watch this whole interview, I think the link is in the description. I probably need to have that on the lead attorney's channel. I want to get some more perspective from what he says in this video. For him to say he wants to get subscribers from the things that he puts out in this videos, what type of subscribers are you trying to attract? Let's get a minute more of this video, then we'll get back into the interview because I don't get it.
And R.Kelly and I are similar, but we're very different because I have safeguards. I know when I'm getting out of control. And I kind of ran analysis on this. And she was older. Her parents weren't breathing down her neck. And this is how a lot of young girls end up with older dudes. Their parents are not heavily involved in their lives, where they have the time and the freedom to get away with this stuff. And her parents didn't check her. She'd go out, she'd spend the night out. Her parents were like, she came home alive, cool. Her parents were not on her. So I didn't have to worry about catching a charge from the parents. And once again, we just kept doing our thing. From 17 to 22, I fucked this chick for 5 years. And I ain't ashamed at it at all. She was willing. She wanted it. And here we come to R.Kelly.
Jesus Christ.
R.Kelly is being portrayed as a predator, right? Did he hold a gun to these women's heads? Years and
Okay, yo, I'm trying to have an objective reaction where I stay all logic and not emotion, but some of this shit is just outrageous. What is this dude talking about? You're talking about preying on vulnerable girls that you could take advantage of at a young age, and then so you're basically saying you're R. Kelly, but you didn't get caught because you know how to do it properly. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Okay, let's get back to this. This, what the fuck? Yo.
After I put it up, I was like, Anton's going to make a live stream of this. And you sure did. I knew that was coming.
So you capping so hard. You capping so hard, bro. You did not play chess and thinking that I was going to make a video of you. All right, Lee. So this is really what's going on.
Okay.
And I'm glad that he right here because you know me, I like to say stuff straight to people's face. The thing that really happened was he was clout chasing, number one.
Facts.
Right? He been clout chasing since the very, very beginning of me even noticing who he is. He's tagging me in videos.
I tagged you in one video. I tagged you in one video.
He's tagging me in videos. He's reaching out or whatever because I'm hot. I'm hotter than fish grease, and it just is what it is. And everybody know I'm hot, right? So he's tagging me in videos.
I did not reach out.
I didn't interrupt you at one time.
Yeah,
I didn't interrupt him one time.
Yeah,
I want to reach through the screen and just grab that ugly, stupid big lips that he got. But I ain't interrupting one time, bro.
You're right. You're right that you didn't interrupt him. So he didn't interrupt you, Glendon. So let him talk. And then you can. I'm going to give you a chance to respond, of course, right? But yeah, go ahead, Anton.
So he tagging me in videos. I don't even know who this guy is, not even a little bit. right? I don't even know how he know me. I've been on YouTube for over 8 years. Apparently he's been on for even longer. Cool, whatever. He in his section, I'm in my section, right? So he tagging me in videos. So as usual, when people tag me in videos, I go and see what it is that they talking about. I don't disagree with what he's saying from a business perspective, right? He doing reactions. Cool. I don't care. We all content creators. We all rock out. It is what it is, right? So then I do some research, and I don't necessarily agree with the way in which he go about living his life, but I didn't see anything crazy. And so my thing was I made a reaction video actually bigging him up, saying that, yo, I actually agree with him from a business perspective. And I don't argue with millionaires, right? He's a millionaire. I take his word for it, whatever. And I didn't do extensive research, but clearly he knows business, right? I'm objective in that. I'm able to separate the person from the content. You know what I'm saying? The sin from the sinner, whatever. Figure.
Okay. Man, Anton was in his bag just now, and my camera went out. Not the fucking camera. All right, hold up. I hate when this shit happens. We're gonna continue this. We still bring in. We're still gonna give the breakdown.
Figuratively speaking. So I'm like, okay, cool. He dope. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he's talking about from a business perspective. I actually align with some of the things that he's saying. It is what it is, right? And I said, okay, so I'm gonna reach out to this guy because he had actually did some more reaction, or he mentioned me in some other stuff. He replied to the video where I got my corporate executive position and all of that other type of stuff, right? And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna reach out to him. But something just kept coming up every single time I went to go reach out to him. So, and this is the God's honest truth. So I'm praying, 2 days ago, something like that. I get up, I tell people what my routine is. I get up, I pray, meditate, talk to God, whatever, so on and so forth. And I go to reach out to him, and I look in my inbox, and I see a thing with a message that says Glendon Cameron at the top of it. And so I'm like, this must be a representative of his or whatever, but I was just going to reach out to him this morning. And so they sent me the video, and so I could go and check out the video, and I see it. And so the thing about it that I'm trying to make sense in my mind is, how is it a social media experiment when you, in the second video, first of all, it's coming out of your mouth. One of the things that he said in his reaction video is, if I was Anton, or what Anton should have did was reach out to me and say, is it true? It's coming out of your mouth. If it was somebody that was accusing you of it, or it was an allegation, that's one thing. But if you're the one that's saying it and admitting to it and championing it and going to it in great detail, why wouldn't I assume that you're telling the truth? You see what I'm saying? So that's A. B, why would I even want to clout chase like that? Why would I want that type of attention? With great power comes great responsibility. And if we're supposed to use our platform to empower people, because one of the things and one of the reasons why I was reaching out to him to rock with him is because he was actually helping people from a business perspective. And that's who I align with. If I'm reaching out because you actually pouring into people, right? And he's watched my video. He knows that I rock with character, that I don't do business with everybody. I've always said that I only rock with people based off of I only do business with people based off of having good character along with it. I've literally divested myself from looking at even race as a factor. It's only based off of good character. He says it out of his own mouth. In his follow-up video, he says it's true. He also admits to receiving pictures from a 15-year-old.
Yeah, let's go point by point, because I don't want to overwhelm you know, but I see what you're saying. And to Glendon, to be honest, I had questions about the experiment thing too. You know, it seems to me that people run experiments to find out knowledge, right? That's the purpose of an experiment. You have a question and you're trying to find an answer. And so, you know, you'll run an experiment on gravity, let's say, but once you figure out how gravity works, you kind of move on. None of us need to run experiments on, you know, if you drop a tennis ball, is it going to hit the ground? And so what was weird to me is that you were saying, on the one hand, that you were running experiments to kind of see what would happen. But it seems to me that the knowledge was already there. Now, let's just kind of break it down. You can say, well, I'm running experiments on one of two things, or maybe both. I'm running an experiment on how Anton will react, and I'm running an experiment on what will happen with the algorithm.
All right.
To me,
So
but let me just finish, and I want you to yeah, I want to hear your response. If you're running an experiment on how Anton will react, to me that doesn't make sense at all, because everyone knows that based on your first video, Anton's going to flip, right? If you run an experiment on how the lead attorney is going to react, that's a question, right? Or if you run an experiment on how, Edward Anderson.
A little context for anybody that doesn't know who these people are. Anton Daniels is a YouTuber, multimillionaire, runs a bunch of businesses, was married at a young age, very intentional about every decision he makes in his life. Christian man, really righteous, more on the right path of life than most of the people. And he lets people understand that and knows that. A lot of people say he's arrogant, but he's confident in and he's happy with the results of the life path that he chose. This guy, this corporate citizen guy that made this video, I have no idea who he was. I heard of him from Abba and Preach's video and Anton's reaction. The lead attorney is also a YouTuber that's blowing up this year, is doing well. An attorney in Atlanta, did a lot of divorce cases, 20-year practicing attorney. Let's get it.
Is going to react. That's the question. But everyone knows from the stance that Anton takes regarding righteousness, regarding religion, regarding premarital sex, right? Regarding even courting. Everyone knows that if anybody's going to flip, it's going to be Anton. Like, there was no reason to run an experiment on that, because everyone knows how he was going to react. And you said it multiple times in the second video that you knew how he was going to react. So there's no reason to run. And we all know that Anton is not going to accept anything really in that first video. If anybody is not going to accept it, it's going to be him. So you say, well, okay, I wasn't running the experiment on Anton because I already knew he was going to flip. I'm running an experiment to see what's going to happen on, how the algorithm is going to react, right? But then again, if I run that experiment, I can run it because I had 1,000 subscribers in January, right? So I've got a few more now, but my trajectory on YouTube has not been that long. There are things that I'm still learning about YouTube. You've been on YouTube, I think you said 12 years. So there is no one who knows more about how what your video is going to cause more than you. Like, it's not an experiment if you know what's going to happen at the end of the experiment. Do you see what I'm saying? So I didn't. Right. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I just didn't see
Okay, no, I understand. First of all, I did not run an experiment on Anton. That was just like, after I dropped the video, I was like, because I was seeing how the moves Anton was making, I was like, he's going to do a reaction video on that. And there was no experiment with Anton.
Okay.
That was just part of the mix. And actually, Anton's video elevated that video. And also, this whole thing is like, YouTube is really, really crazy. You can put out a video and you can have an assumption how it's going to perform. But until you put that video out, you don't know how it's going to perform. And like I said, I've had people do 4-hour live streams about me, talking about me. And I was like, I'm going to try something a little risque. I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to see. And the first few days, it really was nothing. I said, okay, this is going to die. And then it started. Anton did his video, and then a whole bunch of other people did their videos. And the video is not going to go viral. It's not going to happen. And so I would consider it a static experiment. It's not like super successful, because honestly, I thought there was going to be more blowback. I thought there was going to be more anger. I thought there was going to be more people with pitchforks coming after me. And actually, I feel that this is pretty much going to die out by next Friday, because that's the way it's trending. So that was one experiment, because one of the things I wanted to do with this new male content is just separate myself from everyone else, because there's a lot of male content channels out there. And I learned my lesson.
Let me just, not to interrupt you, but just to be clear, you're saying that you didn't know what would happen if you released a video as sensational as the video that you released? You've been on YouTube 12 years, but you're saying you didn't know what would happen, or you didn't know if you would get more views?
Yeah, because like I said,
He knew exactly what was going to happen. He did this for the clout. He could stop the cap. You've been doing this for 12 years. Anybody knows that the current climate of YouTube is a lot of people are doing reactions. You're going to offend a lot of people. You know, the R.Kelly case is something that is widely covered right now. Ah, fuck. I thought the camera was back. Shit. Okay. Man, he tripping, though. He's capping. Like, stop the cap. Anyone could see that.
put out videos that shocked me that did 100,000 views. And once again, like I said, my hopes was it would be more inflammatory, and it wasn't. So that's what I mean, because I was hoping that I knew it would be. Once again, I'm not surprised by the blowback. I'm not surprised by the responses, but I felt that there would be even bigger blowback. I felt there would be even a larger response, and that didn't happen. So that's why I said I ran an experiment. Yes, I had a feeling that this would get people upset, people would be mad, and people, it's polarizing. It's a very polarizing video. But yes. I did not know to what extent it would go. And once again, it's not performing like I thought it would. And this is.
But why would you even want to do a video with me if you know who I am? If you know what I stand on, and you know what my morals and my character is, and you know how I move, why would you even be looking to do content with me in the first place?
Okay, first of all, I tagged you in one video. I did not reach out to you ever. I've not reached out to you ever. And also, that's a really good question, because you have a brand, and your brand is the antithesis of my brand. So there was not going to be any collaboration. I didn't reach out to you. I wasn't planning on reaching out to you.
So you've been capping in all of these videos up to this point. You literally kept saying, "Oh, you know what? I got to reach out to Anton. I think we're going to do something together." Because you've said that in multiple videos after you tagged me in the video.
I tagged you once, and yes, I did say that. And then later on, I changed my mind and I stopped doing that.
Oh my God, bro.
Right,
seriously, Glendon. Hold on, Lee. Seriously, Glendon. I mean, are we gonna be real? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be 100? You're not gonna say you was looking for clout, because in that video that you tagged me, you didn't just tag me. You tagged the lead attorney. You tagged a whole bunch of people. You was clout chasing. You was looking for more visibility from people that was hot at the time, and you was reaching.
Once again, I did tag you. I did tag the elite attorney. I tagged a few other people. And I was like, this ain't really working. And I stopped doing it. Have I tagged you in the video recently? No, I haven't.
Now, let me ask you.
You just did a whole reaction video on me.
Because you did a
This sounds like clout chasing. I don't understand why he doesn't understand that he's clout chasing. You're tagging him in the videos, looking for his attention, knowing that he's not going to align with this.
Years ago, back before the internet, I saw the R.Kelly tape. If you remember, there was a VHS tape that was sold around in barbershops, and it was him.
Great. So you're admitting to watching child fill in the blank. I'm not saying this to lose monetization. He's watching child put in. You know what I mean? What's wrong with this guy? Why would you admit to watching, nigga?
No. Not on this one. When I got the corporate executive position, you did a whole reaction video on me. The whole video was about me. What are you talking about?
That is true.
I did that video, and once again, my feelings changed.
Seriously, wow. Do you see why I say I have to pick and choose who I do business with, bro? Because it ain't even just about whether or not we ain't even got to the thick of this, right? Because it was some bad stuff in that video. We ain't even got to the thick of it on the real. Yeah, but do you see why I say I have to vet people? Because he not even being honest in his clout chasing. Like, he not being honest in him reaching out. He not being honest in everything that he's doing. It's all cloaked in some kind of deviant behavior or some kind of underhanded move that he's trying to move. And I don't rock with these type of people, bro. I preach it on a regular basis that you gotta be careful who you do business with, because everybody that get money, his ability to get money, his talent don't necessarily align with good character, bro.
Right.
It's
I hear
so
you.
unfortunate that.
I hear
Oh
you. I hear
man,
you. Let me.
Lead,
let me
I'm just trying to be as respectful as possible to your
and I
platform, bro.
appreciate that, and I appreciate both of y'all being so patient. I really do. And let me ask you this, Glendon, because this kind of comes up too, and Anton is hinting at it as well. This whole, we'll call it an experiment in making a very polarizing video. You have, I mean, to me, you have great, excellent content when it comes to business, and I can hear it. Now, you say stuff that I don't know all the time in your videos. Now, I'm not a businessman, right? But when I listen to your content, when I listen to Anton's content, I really learn. Also, you know, I could easily look up to you as a content creator because you have 100,000 subscribers. That's hard to get, and you might not know, but I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of our boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. You know, we all rock with O'Shea, right?
Yeah.
And O'Shea put me on, and he set an example for me of helping.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson does put on a lot of content creators. That's why I even know of the lead attorney to begin with. But, or actually, I think my algorithm looked out in that regard. But it doesn't matter. O'Shea Duke Jackson puts on a lot of people. I'm going to restart the stream. I'm tired of being frozen. This shit's trash for me. Everybody's just looking at me like... and I'm not having that, so I'm trying to get involved in my own stream. So we're going to restart this. Part 2 is going to be up in about 5 to 10 minutes. Look out for that. The call-in link is already in the description for the next one, so you don't even bother refreshing this one. Just get out and jump into the next one. The call-in link would be there if you want to call in. We're going to continue exactly where we left off. Let's get it. Yeah.